Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of a gacha game that's not Epic 7. It is Summoner's War, and I kind of want to start not really like changing what videos come out here, but I want to kind of start covering stuff in other gacha games I think is really interesting and really exciting. One of the games that I came from, my very first real gacha game that really made me fall in love with it and really made me start creating YouTube videos was Summoner's War, and it's a game I've always kind of regretted I quit just because I still love the idea behind it. It's still wildly popular and I just kind of miss it a little bit. Obviously the graphics aren't for everybody, it's a lot different, and one of the things, hiccups, why does this happen? Hiccup, why? One of the things with Summoner's War is it never really had any collabs, you know? Like, I never felt like it had any or needed any or anything like that. So the fact that it's getting a collab, and the collab is Street Fighter 5, is mind-blowing to me. And I just kind of want to see what's going on in their minds, and I want to kind of look over the units and see what they look like. And as a note, this game is very similar to Epic 7. So skill sets are going to be somewhat similar to what they might be in E7. So it's kind of interesting to see what they do here and just kind of think of the future for E7, you know? Anyways, let's watch this. I have not seen this. I have not seen the abilities yet. I don't even know what characters are in it. I'm not a huge Street Fighter fan. I played a lot of it as a child, as a kid. Street Fighter 2 Turbo I played a bazillion hours of, but that's all I really did. I don't really know anything past that. Pretty obvious who's on the screen though. Let's just watch this. I'm not gonna pause it at all. 15 seconds, no pauses. Hands off.
Summoner's War.
Okay, that was really cool. So we've got Ryu, M. Bison there, and then we've got Artemiel, I'm guessing, coming from the sky. Oh, look at him getting Shoryuken. That's Artemiel. Yeah, that's Artemiel there, I'm guessing. Anyway, let's take a look at the abilities. That's their promotional. So we can see Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, M. Bison, and Dalzim. Okay, so everybody here was in Street Fighter 2 Turbo, so that's kind of cool. I actually know the characters. That's really interesting they chose to do that. Nobody knew. So Street Fighter 5 is the latest version of Street Fighter, as many of you are all aware. One of the main game titles of Capcom. Cool. Even though the two games have different genres, they share some of the things in common. Love and support from worldwide players in their respective fields for a long time. Wanted to reinterpret SFV. Why would I say SFV? SFV! Street Fighter 5 in a way, and introduce it into Summoner's War. In particular, we wanted to express the attractive elements of Street Fighter 5 characters with distinct features so they can blend into Summoner's War well. Interesting. I'm really excited to see what these are. Like, I'm guessing Ryu's gonna have like Hadouken and then Shoryuken, and Ken is gonna have Hadouken and Shmapleichenjugen, the spinning kick thing. Dalzim is gonna have Yoga Fire, Yoga Flame, maybe a stretch attack. M. Bison is going to have the bicycle kick, the background thing, and maybe like the gravity thing that goes across the screen. Chun-Li is probably gonna have the super mega kick thing, the kick thingy, and then the spinning crane kick or whatever. I have no idea. I don't know why I explained that. That means nothing. So Ryu is going to be an earth unit. Wind is basically earth, and they have a Hadouken that's expected. This is their skill 1 basically. Uses Hadouken on the enemy to inflict damage and decrease the attack power for 2 turns with a 50% chance. One other thing I wanted to mention too is I'm kind of curious how they're handling the summons in this as well, because for those of you who haven't played Summoners War, there are no banners as far as I'm aware. So like when a new unit comes out, it's just thrown into the pool. Are these limited? Are these not limited? Are they here forever? This is something I'm really interested in. So this is just decreased attack, 50% chance. Shoryuken uses an uppercut to inflict damage and leaves the branding effect for 2 turns. Hadouken will be activated with a succession with a 30% chance. That's really cool. So you can Shoryuken and then Hadouken right after. Branding makes it so they take extra damage, I believe, like 25% extra damage. I might be wrong. And then Yoden Senrengeki, I don't know what that one is. This is their skill 3 though. Attacks the enemy to remove all beneficial effects. If the enemy has no beneficial effects after the attack, attacks the enemy once again to decrease defense for 2 turns. If you successfully decrease this defense, attacks the enemy with a powerful finishing strike. So this is really cool. It's like a 1v1 dueler. I like the idea behind that. And I think it really encompasses Ryu in the game, you know? Like, it really, really does. That's cool. And I'm not sure what Ken's going to do. So I'm guessing Hadouken is going to be the same. Yeah, and then Tatsumaki Senpukyaku? I don't know what this one is. I'll have to Google some of these. But he's more like emphasized on the kick. So attacks all enemies 3 times. Each attack has a 30% chance to remove 1 beneficial effect and absorb the attack power by 10%. That seems pretty sweet too. And then Shinryuken, which is attacks the enemy target 3 times and leaves a branding effect for 2 turns. So kind of like the Shoryuken, just a more powerful Shoryuken. The damage increases if the target has harmful effects and instantly gains another turn if all attacks land as a crit. That's really cool. That's really cool. I think they did really, really, really great there. Psycho Crusher. Yeah, that's expected. So M. Bison here is a dark unit. Psycho Inferno raises the Psycho power to attack the enemy and provokes the enemy for 1 turn. That makes a lot of sense with its taunts. And Psycho Crusher wraps the Psycho power around your body and dashes toward the enemy to provoke and to decrease attack power for 1 turn. This will deal more damage according to your max HP, and then as passive Black Moons, your attack power will be filled up and HP will be recovered by 20% if you get attacked by the enemy that you provoked. Okay, that's kind of a cool set too. I don't know as much about M. Bison's skill set. All I remember with him is like the Psycho Crusher across the screen and like the backwards kick thingy. I'm not familiar with all the taunts he has. That's kind of interesting. And we have Chun-Li here. So we have Kiko Ken, which is basically like the Hadouken, which is her like water version. Shoots out the energy of the enemy to inflict damage and decrease the attack bar by 30% with a 50% chance. It's pretty good on the skill 1. And then Spinning Bird Kick attacks all enemies 2 times with the Spinning Kick to decrease the attack speed for 2 turns with a 50% chance. I believe that's the spinning one, right? I kind of wish it had like the chain heel stomps. I don't know what they're called. And then Hoyokyusen, which is the one attacks the enemy target 7 times with consecutive kicks. Yeah, pretty on par here. Decreasing the attack bar by 20% each. Attack bar becomes 0, inflicts damage that ignores defense. The 7th attack will always ignore defense. So that's really cool. So it hits 7 times, and every time after it becomes 0, it ignores the defense. And then finally, the 7th one will ignore defense too. Really sweet. And she's a 4-star as well. And then we have Dalzim here as a 4-star. Yoga Punch. Fire Wind. So there's no 5-star water or 5-star light unit. There's no light unit at all in this, actually, now that I see. So Dalzim has Yoga Punch, stretch your arms, chance to stun the enemy for 1 turn. That kind of makes sense, in a sense, because if you played the older school Street Fighter, and I don't know anything about the competitive aspect now, I just know, like, our at-home games with friends, right? There was not much more annoying than like your buddy just crouching and doing his long yoga punches, you know, and you couldn't do anything, so it felt like you were stunned. And then Yoga Fire spits a fire from your mouth to attack the enemy, removes all beneficial effects granted on the target with a 50% chance and continuous damage for 2 turns. Cool. And then Yoga Sunburst spits a large flame to attack all enemies 3 times, each attack having a 25% chance to stun them for 1 turn. And damage increases according to the number of continuous damage. Really cool kits. Okay, so these are really, really true to the characters. The only one I'm not really sure of is the M. Bison here, since I don't know how the provoke is reflected in the actual Street Fighter game. But the idea behind these is amazing. How are you going to summon for them? I really, 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 really hope I really hope they show here. Names Ryu's Hadoken and Embice's Psycho Crusher have been reborn in our game. We've only revealed the skills of few attributes in this note. For each other attributes and skills, please check them out in-game after the update. Interesting. Okay, so I guess I have to backtrack right now and talk a little bit more about Summoner's War. So in Summoner's War, I think this is what this is saying. For those of you not familiar, each unit has a different element. So, for example, in Epic 7, we have... Who's a good example? We have Destina, who is an Earth unit. And an Earth unit only. And that's it. In Summoner's War, you would have Destina, that's a Wind unit. And, like, different versions of different elements. So you'd have, like, 5 Destinas, but they wouldn't all be called Destinas. They'd all be called like healer person, you know? And then there would be different versions for each things with different abilities. I have no idea if that's how they're handling this here, because like this one's named Ken. It's not just named like Joker or something like that. I use Joker because it's a common Summoner's War unit. Sorry, this is really hard to confuse. I'm trying to do this video in a sense where E7 players can understand it. This is really interesting because attributes is their element, right? So this implies to me that there's going to be different elements of the characters, which is kind of interesting. So the collaboration will be held for 2 months, and the detail will be informed through a separate notice. Can be acquired from summons during this time. Also note, collab monsters won't be summoned anymore after... Okay. So the monsters can be summoned from existing summoning methods with a fixed chance. In addition, an SF5 scroll, which only summons collaboration monsters, can be acquired through various events that will be held. Okay. It's a scroll. Yep. Okay, so this kind of clarifies things. What is a Street Fighter V scroll? It's a scroll that summons only collab monsters. Collab monsters of all attributes, water, fire, wind, light, and dark can be summoned. And there's no light here. So that confirms, I think, that there's also light units, which is really cool. This is really interesting to me. While we are preparing the collaboration, we had one big concern, that the users won't be able to acquire the collaboration monsters after the period ends. And again, in Summoner's War, it is incredibly hard to get a specific monster in Summoner's War. Like it's harder to get like a regular 5-star like fire unit that you want than it is to get a specific Moonlight 5-star in E7, for example. You could spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars and not get the character you want because it's so random, which is both a very good and a very bad thing. But it's not why we're here to talk about. It's just why I want to feel out how they're handling this. One of Summoner's War characteristics is that users can play the game with various strategies and combinations using many monsters. Due to the nature of the collab event, the related monsters cannot be acquired. As a result, we are wondering whether this will affect our game balance or strategical side. Also, users who didn't have a chance to play the game during this period may feel deprived. As mentioned earlier, the collab is provided for a limited time, and it was difficult to solve this matter fundamentally. After a lot of discussions, we have come up with our original monsters that can replace the collaboration monsters. Okay. This is brilliant, and this makes a lot of sense. So remember when I said, like, I wasn't sure how they were going to handle it because, like, you can't name them all Ryu. So they're having a regular Summoner's War version as well that will be added in after. And instead of summoning Ryu after, you'll summon a Striker. So it'll be the same unit, I think, but it'll be different because it's not Ryu anymore. But then we'll have like the fire, the wind, the water Strikers or whatever like that, and the light and the dark Strikers. And it'll be different names for the Strikers as well. This is really cool. Slayer here. Oh, the Blade Dancer. That's really cool. Poison Master Dalsim. These are the original monsters of Summoner's War that will replace the collaboration monsters. These original monsters have a different appearance and or skill effects, but have the same stats and skills. This is really cool. I've always wondered how they will handle this, because they can't really do limited banners because you can't actively summon stuff. This is really, 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 really interesting here. And they're also handling it in PvP by the looks of it, making it so you can't use it right away, because like I said, if you want to get a unit like this, it's heckin' near impossible to get it right off the bat. This is really interesting. I'm really, really excited for them, because this is something I bet people have been wanting for a while. They just like haven't had access to a collab before, and the way they've done this is fantastic. I'm really, really, really impressed, and this is going to be something that makes them boatloads of money, because collectors, oh my god, like the difficulty to get somebody like M. Bison, I can't even express to you how rare something specifically like that is going to be. And they're not even increased rates by the looks of things. You don't have increased rates. They're just thrown in with the hundreds of other units. So interesting. Anyways, we're gonna stop here. Let me know if you like videos like this, specifically like non-E7 videos. Not that I want to stop doing E7 videos again, just because just that I want to branch out to more gacha games, because it's just kind of what I'm here for, you know? Like, I really enjoy this sort of thing. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody!